Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm starting with the Mama Elephant in My Heart stamp set, and I only pulled out two of the little people on there, but I am going to stamp three. So I'm stamping these with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink on a piece of Coordinations 110-pound cardstock because I am going to be coloring these in with my Copic markers. So I stamped that little boy there, and then I'm going to stamp this little girl who looks like she is sitting down. And then I'm also going to use the other little girl with her hands in the air. And then I heated these with my heat tool to make sure that they were completely dried, and I'm going to go ahead and color them in with my Copic markers. Alright, so I just want to mention that when I was coloring this in, I thought I was going to be able to color it in the hair like I've seen other people do, but it didn't work out at all. So my lesson learned, I can't color in hair with Copic markers. So when I added this in and a little bit of dark, I thought it would look a lot better than it did, so I ended up just coloring it all with the darker brown so that it blended together, and it looked a lot better than me trying to create this hair look that I cannot do. So I'm just going to keep on practicing with my hair, watching a little bit more tutorials to try to learn that, but I just wanted to mention that, so that's why I'm coloring it in completely here with the darker brown. Alright, so I went ahead and fussy cut those out, and if you don't know what fussy cutting is, it's just cutting around the image, cutting it out of the piece of paper. And then I am going to cut some grass. So I have the Lawn Fawn Grassy Border die, and I have these strips of green cardstock. They measure 1 inch by 4.5 inches, I believe, or 4.25 inches. I'm going to be cutting them off with a different die, so it didn't really matter how long they were. I just wanted to make sure that they were long enough for my rectangle die cut that I'm going to be using. So I went ahead and cut all of those out, and I like to add a little bit of distress ink to the edges of those, so I'm using the Forest Moss, and you can see I'm just adding it to the tips of the grass blades, and I think it just adds a little bit more dimension to it, and it just makes it look a lot cooler and more finished than that bright green color. So distress inks are good for many, many different things, and I like using them to add dimension to my cards as well. So next I'm taking a piece of white cardstock, and I'm adding some Broken China distress ink. This is going to be my background, so I wanted it to look a little bit like the sky. I wanted it to have that blue look. You can see I'm starting kind of towards the middle. I'm not coloring the bottom because that's where my grass is going to go. And then as I work my way up, I want it to fade into white, so I want it to be a lot lighter at the top and then darker towards the bottom. So then I'm going to go ahead and adhere my grass down, and I'm using my ATG gun to add some adhesive to the backs of those, and I'm just layering them slightly below one another. I'm not doing a whole lot of difference between that, but I just wanted it to have that dimension and lots of grass on the bottom. So then I'm going to go ahead and take this stitched rectangle die cut from Simon Says Stamp and add that to that piece. So my grass is going to be towards the bottom, or it's going to cover the bottom, I should say, and then the sky towards the top. So then I can go ahead and run that right through my Cuttlebug. And when you cut a rectangle die, you don't want to have it, like your plate is rectangle, so you don't want to have it completely square and even on the sides. It makes it a little bit more difficult. So if you put your rectangle die kind of at an angle so one corner goes into the machine first, it makes it easier to die cut. So then I'm adding that to my white A2 size card base. Next I'm going to add my little people or kids on there. So I'm just using a little bit of multi-matte medium. And I'm going to tuck them in behind the grass so it looks like they're standing within the grass, or this little girl is sitting in the grass. And I'm kind of doing them all in different heights on there. I don't want them all standing in the same area. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment on there. So I'm going to use the same Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I'll go ahead and stamp that right in the sky, so that's right above the little people. It says, "Miss you more than just a little." Thought that was a really super cute sentiment. And then I'm going to add this May Arts Natural Twine on there. I'm just going to tie a bow around the top. I'm realizing that you can kind of see all of the scratches that are on my arms. I have a really big scratch there. Those are from my kitten. She has her sharp little needle claws that she likes to play with and scratch. So if you see those on my hands or my arms, you know who they are from. So I'm just tying my bow on there and then trimming off the excess. And then the last step, I am going to add these white sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. I have the larger ones and the smaller ones. They are 6mm and 4mm, and these are the white ones. I'm just randomly kind of placing those. I like to place them in a triangle, if that makes sense. So there's 3 little clusters of them. And then I add a dot of my Mono Multi Glue, and just push them into place, and then that secures them and they adhere really well with that adhesive. And then that is my finished card for today, so thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys back here next time. Bye!